Hey, and welcome to episode number 2. This is all over the place because this podcast and my life are all over the place. So, this is my second episode. It's been a little bit of a delay between the two. I've been kind of congested, as you can tell, pretty sick, but I want to kind of keep it moving, so I'm sorry if this is not aesthetically pleasing to your ears. But I just had to get them reps in, So, this episode, I want to start with a little bit of Facebook drama, because if you know me, I'm all about the comments. So, I have a lot of people that I follow that I don't necessarily know. I don't know them, like, in real life. I don't know them at all. I don't hate them. I don't like them. Like, we don't have a relationship at all. But I follow them because they are messy. Their lives are messy. Their relationships are messy. They post about it. It's in the comments. And I can't fucking get enough. I love it. So I just follow them and I keep reading all their shit because it's so funny to me. So today I wanted to start with this comment or the status because I saw it and I couldn't stop laughing. So this girl posted this. Y'all little boys wonder why you never get anywhere in life or your relationship? Maybe if you weren't 30, playing video games constantly, ignoring the people around you and making excuses daily, you would be in a better position in life. First off, I'm 34, alright? And I fucking love my video games. I always wonder why women get so mad at men for playing video games. Like, what are we supposed to do when we want to just unwind, shut our brains off, and chill? Like, you can watch your shows, everyone has their vices. We could be out being drunk, making a fool of ourselves, or we could be acting reckless, but instead, we got this is my gaming headset. We got a little headset on, we're playing our games, talking with our boys, and a lot of women have a problem with that. I know my wife doesn't. She knows what it is. Like, and if she played video games instead of me and vice versa, and, like, roles were reversed, I'll be cool with it, because if that's how she unwinds, that's how she unwinds. This is how it is. But if a dude's ignoring you and you blame the video games, it's not the video games. It's you. He's ignoring you because he is tired of you bitching at him for playing fucking video games. Because it's a video game. It's not real life. It's imaginary. It's pretend. We're not really killing people in the streets and blah, blah, blah. I got him down. Oh, one shot. Oh, shield. So you got to give the man a break. So if we're working, I can understand if, like, a dude's playing video games, like, 18 hours a day, doesn't have a job, doesn't shower, doesn't take care of his responsibilities. That's one thing. But more often than not, if you're in your 30s playing video games, it's like you worked a long day or you took care of the kids. Like, you did a lot of shit, and then you're like, fuck, I need a break. I know when I played yesterday with my cousin, he was like, hold on, I gotta clean before my girl gets home, and then I can play because I don't want her to come home and get mad. And I was like, oh, that's smart. That's what I do with my wife. I make sure all the stuff's done so she doesn't ask me to do anything before I hop on, and then I know I'm good. So he's not ignoring you because of the video game. He's ignoring you because of your fucking attitude, clearly, by this post. I can tell you have an attitude. And I don't think anyone that plays video games is like, man, if I put this video game down, I swear I could probably change my life. No, that's not. It's not the video game's fault. Like, everyone has a thing they do to unwind. And if you say you don't, you're a liar. Do you have a Netflix account? Do you have Amazon Prime? Do you have Peacock? Do you have Hulu? Like, you're watching a show. For us, that's our show. Or it's our social gathering where we're just talking, chopping it up with our boys, having a good time, making dick jokes, being weird, and you think we're a little out of control, and I get that, but it's crazy. Like, let the man live. I don't know what this girl is going through, but I do know she posts a lot of thirst traps, and I'm like, you're messy. Like, and I don't follow her because of the thirst traps, because they're not impressive. Settle down. I follow her because of posts like this, in the comments when she's arguing with whoever she's dating at the time. But when you post like that and you're sitting there posting, if that's how you want to post, that's one thing. But you can't get mad at a dude for playing video games, and then in the same turn, you're sitting here and posting half-naked pictures of yourself and like, he wonders why he's nowhere in life. let me just post my ass on Instagram. Like, who is nowhere in life? Like, do what makes you happy. If you want to do that, cool. If he wants to do this, cool. Stop judging the man and bring him down. And video games doesn't have an age limit. I'm pretty sure Legos has like 99 is your age limit, but still, like, come on, chill. And that is actually a beautiful segue, because I also wanted to discuss being a 34-year-old freshman in college. So it's a funny experience because even today, we were talking about video games, funny enough, and everyone kind of looked at me like, oh shit, he plays video games? He got kids and a wife and a family, and that's cool, man. But they also think it's like weird that I'm in college. Like, they don't say it, but I can tell by, you know, the looks and the... Sometimes when I raise my hand and ask questions, and, you know, they talk about, like, in between classes, they'll talk about, like, certain apps they have or, like, social media things that I've never heard of. And I just feel old. Like, they told me about an app, Fiverr, today, where it's, like, basically you can do, like, freelance stuff online and people pay you or whatever. But they're explaining to me and laughing because I didn't know what it was. And I was like, oh, sorry, just I'm old as shit. And that happens a lot. And I kind of tried to give them some advice today of, like, we're all talking about what we wanted to do after we graduated and kind of what our plan was in college. And I was like, you guys got to realize money can be made at any point. It can be made. But you do ultimately want to be happy with what you're doing. But you also, like, you got to find that balance. Because one dude was just talking about how he wanted to just produce music and he wanted to do this. But he was open to other things. And I was like, that's good, because you can always do music on the side. And then, but you have to be open in your career to take other options. But you also don't want to be miserable at work. Because even before I hurt my back and was, like, forced out of work, I was not fulfilled for my career. It was kind of boring, honestly. Like, I could have sat there and watched Netflix all night and had no issues. No one would have stopped me. No one would have said anything. As long as by the end of the month, my work was signed off, and no one would even check on my work. Like, if I didn't do my work and I just signed it off, nobody would know. It was crazy. And I made more money than any other job I've been at, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. And I knew that. I knew while I was there I wanted to change it up, and I was planning on going to school eventually. But then it was like the universe was like, there goes your back, bro. Get your ass to school. So here I am. And I feel like you got to look at that all the time. When you're, like, going through stuff, I try to think of it like, all right, there's a reason I'm going through this. So I hurt my back, but there has to be a reason I hurt my back. And part of me thinks that I hurt my back to put me on a path of, I was kind of delaying my education, using my GI Bill, and going after what I wanted. Instead, I was at this, I wouldn't say dead-end job, but it was like a miserable job. I didn't like what I was doing. And I was just going to work every day, chilling, sitting in a chair in an office, doing nothing. And there was a dude there that was completely happy doing that. He said he loved it. And that's cool. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's cool. But I'm just not that kind of guy. My brain does not work that way. I can't just sit there and get paid and be cool with it. I want to feel fulfilled from whatever I'm doing. So I tried to look at it like that. So anytime I'm going through something like that, I know I went off on, like, a random tangent, but that's why it's all over the place, right? I try to just look at these experiences of, like, it happened for a reason. There's a reason I'm in this situation. There's a reason why I hurt my back. There's a reason I had to quit this job. There's a reason why I moved back to Massachusetts. Like, everything builds up to a reason, you know? So, ooh, excuse me. Sorry for the sniffles here. I don't have any tissues up here, so I apologize in advance. I talked about this a little bit on the Basic Boys podcast with Jordan. He did message me and tell me, like, that he was proud of me and he is happy that, like, regardless of what he sees that I go through, I'm not, like, jaded from anything I've went through. Like, I'm not a dick. Like, sometimes I am, jokingly, but, like, I'm not a dick to people, or, like, I don't look at the world in a negative way because of what I've been through. I don't try to I try to look at it like I just said, everything happens for a reason. So I try not to be negative. And I truly believe that you can trick yourself to be positive. Like, I'll sit there and whether I'll make a joke or if I see an opening for a joke, I'll just make it, even if it pops in my head and I'm fucking miserable. I'm like, nah, let me get this joke off. Like, I'm gonna make this joke because it will cheer me up. If I see one person laugh, it'll cheer me up. And I know it's easy when you see someone laugh or you see someone having a good time and you're having a bad time, that you're going that like kind of spiral and you're like, man, fuck that, fuck this, fuck them. Everyone should be miserable as me. This is bullshit. But it doesn't work like that. Like, that's not going to help you, and you're just going to have a shit rest of your day, and that could even stem into the next day, and that could even stem into a whole week, and it just kind of stacks on each other, and that's no way to live. It's not fun. I've been there many times, and it's just not a good time. So, yeah, I just don't think that anyone should just let anything they go through ruin them for the future. So whether it's like a relationship or an injury or you lose your job, like imagine like if someone cheats on you and then every relationship you're in, you just assume that person's cheating on you. You're not going to find someone that's even going to want to be with you, because there's nothing worse than someone just assuming you're going to cheat. Like if my wife was texting me all the time, where are you? Who are you with? What are you doing? I'd be fucking miserable. That would be terrible. I couldn't live like that. And she couldn't either if I was the same way. Like there was a night she went to her friend's house. She fell asleep at her friend's house. And I wasn't like, oh my God, who are you with? I knew who she was with. It was fine. Like she was good. And I'd rather have her do that than drive tired or anything like that and potentially get in an accident, you know? But if you're in a relationship with someone who's not like that, there you are spiraling. And then even as the other person, when they're texting you and being like that, even like it makes you worry and get anxious before anything even happens. Oh, I'm sorry for the sniffles. I bet it's fucking annoying. I apologize. But anyways, yeah. What else we got to talk about here? So that actually stems to, I said I wouldn't talk about it. I mean, I technically didn't say I wouldn't talk about it, but anyone with like baby mamas or anything like that, or let's say, all right, you have a kid with someone else, and then you get in another relationship after or whatever, they're in another relationship after or whatever. It kind of is the same thing as that, because like imagine you both have problems while you're together, whatever, you break up. Like there's a lot of times I still get anxiety when I get a text, if I get a missed call, and it could be something stupid like, hey, their doctor's appointment is at this time, or hey, I just want to make sure you know that pickup is at this time, they changed it, whatever. I still get anxiety and like freak out of like, oh my God, there was a text. And it's like I talked about in the first episode, like catastrophizing, and like I get in my head about that and freak the fuck out. And that's kind of the same thing as like when being on the other side of being with someone else who's jaded. I'm not saying that she's doing anything or she caused anything. I'm just saying from my experience, I just get major anxiety. Sorry for the dog barking. Oh man, these transitions. I gotta work on my transitions, because I got like random topics and no transition. I don't know how to transition, you know? We're working on it. But yeah, I don't know what I really have to say about that, because the dog barking threw me off. One thing I did write that I thought was funny is I don't understand what's with like certain guys in pretending how great they were at sports. Like if you ever see like Facebook comments on a sports page or whatever, there's always that one like Al Bundy dude who's like, in the state championship I fucking had 4 touchdowns. Like, dude, if you were that great, why you working at Sears, bro? Like, you got a regular job. You're not in the NFL. You're not in the XFL. You're not even playing arena football. You're not even playing for a local team. But I've noticed a lot. I see that all the time. It's probably because I'm getting older, and a lot of people like to relive their glory days, and I understand that. it's nice to look back fondly on those memories, but a lot of times, like, these guys are fabricating of, like, man, if you see me in high school, I was burning these fools. I had this many yards and da 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 da. Then if it's Googleable now, and you can look it up and be like, yo, you had 10 yards your senior year. Were you that great? Or did you just think you were that great? But then you're like, yeah, but in practice, no. I just noticed that a lot. Or people that say they're going to try out for something, they don't do it. Like, if you're going to talk that much shit, just be about it. Just do your thing, man. Be about it. But yeah, that was a quick one. Veterans Day. That's on here. Veterans Day is a weird one for me. So, those who don't know, I was in the Army for 6 years. A little over 6 years. I was a generator mechanic. I don't pretend. I killed Osama, and I was over there like, no. That wasn't me. I was a mechanic. Motor pool Mondays, staying late to put on an O2 part. That was more my lane. Getting my leave denied. That was the kind of shit I did. Ruck marches and all that bullshit. I did all the regular stuff. But Veterans Day is a weird one because it's like a lot of people, same thing with the sports thing, they'll like fabricate what they did in the military because the average person doesn't know. Like, they'll just assume everyone who's in the Army or the Marines or whatever all went to war, and it was all, like, all we saw was people dying and we murdered babies, and when it's not like that. And I've only heard stories of other people's deployments. I have never deployed. I've never pretended I deployed. I don't get my free food on Veterans Day because I feel weird about it. I have a weird relationship even with my time served because I never deployed. So I don't like to boast or brag about it. I'll talk about it because it was a big chunk of my life. It was like most of my adult life, but still, I don't pretend that I'm G.I. Joe, I'm G.I. Bro. I'm just chilling in the motor pool, and I'm grateful for my time and the people I met and the relationships and everything I learned and the benefits and everything. It was great. But at the same time, it's just weird how some people were on Veterans Day or are. And like people who were in for like 6 months got kicked out. And they're like, yeah, they put their veteran hat on. They go down to Applebee's and get their little free steak or whatever. Like, it's weird to me. It's weird. It's weird to be like, I was a veteran. Shouldn't this be free? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand that part of it. And another thing on Veterans Day I noticed, I saw a lot of, like, things for donations for veterans. And as a veteran who has been reaching out for help and not gotten the help, I don't think it's the donations that are needed. We don't need more money. We need more access to the resources that are already there. A lot of the veterans that I know, and me personally, we just don't know where to go. We don't know who to talk to. No one answers their phone. No one responds to an email. No one listens to their voicemails. Like, sorry, that's just the heater. Don't mind that. We're still a work in progress here. And this is only episode 2, so chill. But all the veterans I know, we're just looking for help. Help's there. We just don't know where the fuck it's at. They say, oh, go to your local town, go to this, go to that, write to this person. I've done every single step people tell me to, and usually I come up empty. And then when I do get a hold of someone, it's okay, and then you fill this out, you fill that out, and then they'll get back to you. And then fucking here we are a month later, and I have not gotten back to by at least 3 people. It's just crazy. And I've probably made 20 phone calls to 20 different resources, and none of them answered. None of them answered. Ever. The only dude I got to answer me has still not gotten back to me. He tried to. He left me a voicemail, and I got back to him, and then just there was no follow-up on the paperwork after it left his hands. The next person just didn't give a shit. He cared, but, so it's weird to me on Veterans Day how everyone cares about veterans, but every other day of the year, there's resources. You just got fucking good luck finding them, dude. Like, so if anyone has resources or knows who to contact, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'll pin them, whatever. Reach out to me. I'll try to share them with other veterans because I don't want anyone to be in the same situation as me. So even if I have to get out of it without any help, I don't want anyone else to have to do what I did. Because I did discuss like my situation in the last podcast, and I'm staying at my parents', my wife's staying at her brother's. Like, we can't find housing. We're looking for all kinds of resources. We just can't find it. We can't find the help that we need. And it's pretty frustrating. We're still in the process. Trying to, like I said, keep it positive, get these jokes off, all that, but it's fucking tough. And anyone else who's in the situation, I get it. Hang in there. Keep calling. That's what I keep doing. And maybe we'll get the help eventually. If you get help first, let me know. I get help first, I'll let you know. We'll figure it out, right? So what else we got on the docket here today? I did write my bodybuilding career, which is crazy. So, for those who don't know, a few years back, I competed in classic physique. I did a fitness competition, so it was like a year build up, almost a year, where like every meal was measured out. I was eating six to sometimes 8 times a day. Towards the last 2 months, I think it was 2 or 3 months, I didn't have a single cheat meal. Wait, 4, 8, 12, yeah, 3 months. I didn't have no cheat meals. Only eating chicken, rice, steak, fish, that's it. Like, and vegetables. That's the only thing I was eating. And that was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. And I want to talk about that because I think a lot of people don't realize how hard it is. And then towards the end, the last week, you gotta completely shave, well, from the neck down anyways, get a spray tan, 2 coats of a spray tan, which is crazy. I looked insane. If I can, I'm gonna pop a picture up. Like, I look crazy. I look like I was working in the coal mine. Like Ben Stiller in Zoolander, when he came out, like, boo, in the coal mines. That's how I was looking. And it kind of gave me this, like, body dysmorphia. I don't know if people know what that is, but it's like, I would see myself different than what I was. And now that I am out of shape, I feel like I look way worse than I probably do because of my time doing that. Like, if that makes sense. And it's been really hard for me to bounce back. I've been trying to do the same things. Obviously, the fucking Bud Light doesn't help, but, I'm a work in progress. That's what we're all about here. Work in progress. And that's what I just try to preach. Take another sip to that work in progress. So I noticed that, that held me back a lot, because it's like, now it's weird because I have so much information. I know what to do. I know how to do it. Even with my back fucked up, I know I can do it, but I just don't do it. And it's crazy. And I feel like that also stems from, like, my ADHD and everything, because I know that, like, the hyperfocus is real, and I didn't realize what it even was, because I just got diagnosed, like, 2 years ago. So I didn't know anything about it, but it's like, even for me to hold that focus for that long is nuts. Like, from what I read anyways. And I notice now I have that hyper focus a lot, but it doesn't last even close to as long. Like, the older I get, the less frequent it is and the less it lasts. But it's like say it's budgeting, and I'm like all about budgeting for like a week. I'm like, don't fucking spend any money. If you spend money, we're gonna write it in this journal, and we're gonna track it, and we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Then 2 days later, I'm like, fuck that budget. Let's go out to eat. I can't maintain that focus very long. Like, I even have a calendar over here that was part of like my ADHD workshop I took, and I'm supposed to write everything on it, things so I don't forget. It hasn't been filled out since fucking September, and Steph did it. I didn't do it. She did it. Like, I haven't filled that thing out since like a year ago, and it's just nuts. Like, I'll have all these thoughts in my head of like, here's what I'm gonna do, here's how I'm gonna do it, plan of attack, I'm so fucking prepared, and then I don't do it. I talked a little bit about that on the last one, but like, it's just crazy how like ADHD can affect your brain, especially as an adult. That I definitely didn't realize that it's like way worse. And that's probably why I didn't know I had it until I fucking was an adult. Nah. So the last thing I'm gonna like touch on here is I have a funny story from class today. So I'm in class, and I was like, damn, professor, like, the longer this class goes, the less I want to have employees It was my intro to business class. And he starts laughing. He was like, yeah, well, Jason, it's tough having employees because here's all the stuff you got to worry about. He's like, so you're going to have no employees? I was like, if I do, maybe like my wife. And he starts laughing, and he's like, all right, anyway, so a few minutes go by. He's like, let's talk about sexual harassment. And I was like, great, never mind. Can't hire my wife. And the whole class starts laughing. I feel like it was funnier because everyone's like 18, 19, and here I am, this old, like, to them, I'm like this creepy old man of like hitting on my wife at work and slapping her butt, and but that's the beauty of marriage and relationships, right? So I know this was another random episode, but I guess that's what I do here. Fuck it, we're committed now, right? We are all over the place. So I am Jason, and we're out. So bye. That's a wrap for episode 2.